In part four of the Green Leaf Forward, I really want to talk about the implications of changing our society and updating our society and what that means for technology. The Green Leaf Forward, or as some people call it, the Green New Deal, has such a bad rep because a lot of people typically think that you're going to come and overturn society and that we have to completely dismantle the system of capitalism. But I think that that is a complete mischaracterization of the Green Leaf Forward. Instead, I would argue that the Green Leaf Forward is actually just an update to the way that we have to live our lives. That if we understand how, like, for example, with our cell phones and our technology, the way that every year we have to update our technology, our iOS systems, that we have to then do the work to update our society to then live in harmony with the Anthropocene. So technology would include different realms of technology. So it would include things like green infrastructure. We could update our public transportation systems, more modernize that. We could also work to begin to work with AI because AI, they are becoming a part of collective consciousness. I'm going to have a separate video on artificial intelligence and what that means and how the dynamics of it's going to change what it means to be human because a lot of artificial intelligence, they are gaining a degree of sentience. That's another video. But the point is that technology has this exponential growth trajectory, right? And that after we begin to do the work to mitigate the effects of climate change, that we really want to then begin to invest in education, invest in STEM and heal jobs, which would kind of remove this need for a top down approach to how we understand education, to how we understand society, and actually create more of an ecosystem to where we just invest in people to begin to work in that way. Because as we begin to invest in STEM and heal jobs, and now how we understand consciousness is more about balance, how we understand through the Gaia theory and motherism how life is more about balance, that we then, as a community of peoples, right, we could focus on living well, that we could ultimately begin to slow down this locomotive of this capitalist system that we live in and focus on just living better, that we can create a 4-day work week, things like that that Bernie Sanders talked about. We could implement that system and then have technology take the load off of people so people don't can work less and we can spend more time with our families as opposed to having to be wage slaves and working in a system that is essentially designed to fail. Like, we are living in the reality of late stage capitalism and we are beginning to see and feel the effects of late stage capitalism and what that means for us. We're seeing the extreme homelessness, the extreme poverty, and we know that poverty ultimately breeds crime because a lot of the wealth has been accumulated in the hands of the richest people and the wealthiest people in our society. And that as we begin to do the work to mitigate the effects of climate change, create a green leaf forward, that we can then focus on creating jobs, that will first of all create more jobs. But we could then focus on re educating people and investing in STEM and heal jobs and functioning more as an ecosystem.